If your child copied everything that you did last week, would you be proud? Everyone talks about generational wealth, but nobody is talking about generational health, even though I'd argue it's even more important. Generational health means building habits today that your kids will carry into adulthood. It's not what you say to them, it's what they see you do. Because the way you move, what you eat, and how you treat your body teaches your kids what's normal without you having to say a word. Children are like sponges, they absorb everything. And that's why I'll never forget what Glenn shared with me. Glenn's one of my clients. He's a regular guy. He's got a 9-to-5 desk job. He's busy. He's stressed. He's not always motivated. And just like you, he has a weakness for pizza and beer too. He's also a dad to 2 kids under 10. And one of them, his son, has learning difficulties. But he saw Glenn doing push-ups in the living room every morning. He watched him head to the gym again and again and again. And over time, he saw his dad walking taller, eating better, and showing up differently. Then one night, they were sitting on the sofa watching Gladiators, which, if you don't know, is a very popular UK TV show. And Glenn's son turned to him and said, "You could be on Gladiators now, Daddy." Just stop for a second and imagine how that made Glenn feel. The week after, Glenn told me that his son had started looking forward to PE at school, physical education, which was something that he used to dread. Why? Because now he had a role model. Glenn joined my program to lose a few pounds, but he stayed because he saw the value in building generational health. And he's not the only one. Kent joined the program 4 weeks ago, and he's already nearly 10 pounds down and making great progress. But last week, something unexpected happened. After a few weeks working out in his front room while his kids watched TV, his 7-year-old son came up to him and proudly revealed the workout routine he'd created for himself, complete with sets, reps, and his own little tracking system, just like his dad. Kent jokingly, but very proudly, told me his technique needs a little work, but his attitude is spot on. And that is what happens when your kids see you showing up. They don't just copy your habits, they copy your standards. So if you're a dad and you want to be a better role model to your kids, but you don't know where to start, or you're struggling with motivation right now, this video is for you. Because today I'm going to walk you through some simple strategies that you can implement right now to become the role model your children need. And it's probably way simpler than you think. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have a six-pack. You don't need to train like an elite athlete. You just need to start living the kind of life you'd want your kids to copy. You need to show them that you're on the right path, the right trajectory. Because as I always say to my clients, the directory and trajectory that you're on are far more important than your current position or the speed that you're going at. So I'm going to break it down into 3 pillars that you can start implementing today, even if you're busy, stressed, or nowhere near where you want to be yet. So let's lock in and get started with the first one. Pillar 1, own your morning. Your morning sets the tone for everything. And when it comes to building generational health, the single best thing you can do is show your kids that taking care of yourself comes first, before the world has a chance to throw anything at you. Now, here's the crazy thing. Owning your morning doesn't just make it easier to lose fat or get fit. It gives you more energy, boosts your mental health, makes you sharper, calmer, and more productive, all at the same time. And the effects are so immediate, you'll wonder why you didn't start sooner. But it's not about spending 2 hours doing breath work and gratitude journaling. You're a dad and you're busy. You need simple wins that you can stack fast. So here's how you do it. First, put your alarm out of arm's reach. Make sure you physically have to get out of bed to turn it off, because the snooze button is the dream killer. It kills your real dreams just as much as the ones that you were having in bed. You can't melt fat lying horizontal. You can't be a strong role model half asleep. And you definitely can't build generational health while doom scrolling Instagram first thing. You need to be up and at it before your kids. Second, leave your phone on airplane mode for the first hour of the day. Unfortunately, the world is a very negative place right now, but that doesn't mean you have to absorb it. You want to avoid the bad news, the emails from your boss, and the BS on social media. This is your time with your family. Don't give it away to anything else. Start the day on your terms, calm, focused, and present. Third, drink water with electrolytes before anything else. Not a double espresso, not an energy drink. Your body wakes up dehydrated, not caffeine deprived. Hydrating properly first thing switches your brain on, regulates your body, and stops you crashing and craving sugar 30 minutes later. It's the ultimate cheat code for energy. Fourth, hit 1 quick set of push-ups. Doesn't matter if it's 10, 20, or even 50. Just get your body moving, get the blood flowing, and set the tone. Today, we move. And finally, front load your day with protein. Eggs, Greek yogurt, a protein shake, whatever suits you. Just aim for 30 to 40 grams early. It'll crush your mid-morning snack attacks, steady your energy, and fuel your muscles properly. This is simple stuff, but when you stack these habits together and then repeat the process day in, day out, the positive effect is mind-blowing. So it's alarm out of reach, phone on airplane mode, hydrate, push-ups, protein. That's your 5-minute, 5-step morning game plan. And when your kids see you start the day like that, when they grow up seeing that as normal, that's how you build a future generation that values their body, their energy, and their health. And it all starts with you tomorrow morning. The second pillar for building generational health is simple. Move your body every day. I'm not talking about 2-hour gym sessions or training for a triathlon or spending your weekends running laps around the park in Lycra. No, I'm talking about visible, consistent movements that your kids actually see. Because kids don't copy your words, they copy your example. If they see you moving daily, even if it's just a few push-ups in the living room, a walk around the block, or kicking the ball around outside, they start believing that movement is a normal part of life. It's not a punishment. And when you can get them in that mindset early on, they'll start to enjoy it more. And when they enjoy it more, you'll enjoy it more. The whole family will be healthier and happier, and it creates a really virtuous cycle. That's exactly what happened with Kent, the dad I mentioned earlier. He didn't sit his son down to lecture him about fitness. He didn't make him join a boot camp. He just kept showing up, working out in his front room while his son watched TV. No big speeches, no guilt trips. Kent didn't just show his son what to do. He showed him that movement is part of being a man, and you can do the exact same thing. All you have to do is set a minimum standard. In other words, do something physical every day, even if it's just for 5 to 10 minutes. Push-ups, walks, stretching, squats in the kitchen while your coffee brews. It doesn't matter. It just matters that it happens and that your kids see you do it. Go on Facebook Marketplace and buy some cheap secondhand dumbbells that you can have around the house. Trust me, there's still a lot of people using them as doorstops since the global event that I'm not allowed to talk about on YouTube who will happily take $20 for you to put them to good use. And for bonus points, schedule family adventures into your calendar. At least 2 hours every weekend should be dedicated to getting your kids outside and doing something active with them. A weekend walk, a park visit, a kick around with the ball, it doesn't matter what it is, and it doesn't need to cost a fortune. Because if your kids associate movement with fun and not a punishment, they'll grow up loving it. They'll seek it out naturally, and they'll become more outgoing, more confident. They'll become leaders. This isn't about you raising gym rats. It's about you raising healthy, capable humans. And it all starts with showing them that daily movement is just part of a normal life for healthy, happy people. Pillar 3, teach nutrition through action, not preaching. The third pillar for building generational health is just as important, maybe even more important than the first two, because the way your kids learn to fuel their bodies will either empower them for life or set them up for a lifetime of struggles. And here's the harsh truth. You can't just tell them to do it. You can't lecture them about eating vegetables while you're smashing a takeaway on the sofa. You can't tell them to drink water if all they ever see you drink is beer or Coke. You can't tell them that nutrition matters. They have to see that it matters to you, because children don't learn from rules. They learn by example, and you are the example. Here's the good news though. You don't need to be perfect. In fact, I don't want you to be perfect. I want you to show them that healthy eating is quick, simple, and delicious. You don't need to run a Michelin star kitchen. You just need to lead by example. And that starts with building simple, real meals. Meals built around real food, not processed junk. Meals with protein, meals with color, meals with water at the table or milk, but no soda. You don't need to make a big deal out of it. You don't want to label foods as good or bad. You just need to show them what normal looks like. A plate of chicken, rice, and veg is normal. A glass of water or milk with dinner is normal. And just as important that a treat is a treat, not a daily expectation. They can have pizza, they can have McDonald's, they can have chocolate, but they shouldn't expect it whenever they want every single day. And if you want to level up even further, involve them. Get them helping with simple food prep. Show them how to build a plate. Get them in the habit of reading food labels and understanding calories. Teach them the value of the different macronutrients, the fact that protein helps you get big and strong, the fact that carbs fuel our brain and our body, and the fact that fat keeps your immune system healthy. You don't need to be the expert. You just need to know one more thing than them. And talk about food in a positive way, as something that fuels your body, not something that you need to earn or burn off. You're not trying to raise obsessive dieters. You're trying to raise kids who respect their bodies because they saw you respecting yours. Think about it like this. Would you rather your kids growing up thinking that food is a constant battle, or would you rather they grow up understanding that nutrition is just part of looking after yourself, the same way as brushing your teeth or tying your shoelaces? That's the opportunity that you have right now. Not through lectures, not through rules, through actions. I guess the simple takeaway point here is to eat like the man that you want your kids to become. The number of men that I see eating like children is embarrassing. You know who you are. I used to be that guy, but it's time to grow up. Because when they grow up seeing you fuel your body with respect, they will do the same. without you ever having to say a word. Building generational health doesn't require you to become a superhero. It doesn't require you to be perfect, and it doesn't require you to overhaul your whole life overnight. It just requires you to show up and lead by example, to live in a way that you'd be proud for your kids to copy. And it starts with 3 simple pillars: own your morning, move your body every day, fuel yourself with real food, and teach by example. That's it. And look, you're not always going to get this right. Some days you'll miss a workout. Some days you'll grab a takeaway because life is crazy. Some days you'll just want to crash on the sofa and forget about it all. And that's okay. That's normal. But the goal here isn't perfection. Your kids don't need you to be flawless. They just need to see you moving in the right direction. They need to see that looking after yourself is a standard, not the exception. Because if you can do that, you won't just change your own life, you'll change theirs too. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one of these pillars today. Just one. Be the man that sets a new standard. Then actually stick to it for 1 week. Let your kids see it. Let them feel it and just watch what happens. Because building generational health doesn't happen with one big moment. It happens with hundreds of small ones that are stacked day after day after day. So don't do it for you. Do it for them.